And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. Start, 2, 1, boost ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery.
Welcome to the Launchpad. I'm your host, Harry Washington, and today we have a very exciting program. Our first guest for today is Rosemary Parker. She's a director for the Center for Minorities in Science and Engineering. Welcome to the show, Ms. Parker.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here today.
Okay. Now, what is the mission of the Center for Minorities in Science and Engineering?
The mission of our office, and we just sometimes refer to it as either the Center or CMSE, is to increase the participation of African American, Latino, and American Indian students in engineering and other STEM majors.
Right. Describe the population that you service. Is it majority African American or majority Latino, or is it consistent of a particular classification, such as like juniors, seniors? Tell us a bit about the population.
So we actually serve students from elementary through PhD.
Okay. And
so we have programs. We have Saturday programs and summer programs, and in those programs we probably serve anywhere from 700 to 1,500 pre-college students.
Wow.
And then at the college level, we serve both the undergraduate students and the graduate students. And currently, our enrollment is our undergraduate enrollment at the university in engineering is 3,675 students. And 11.5% of those students are underrepresented students.
Excellent. Those
groups. And then at the graduate student level, we have 2,052 students, and about 8.3% of those students are underrepresented.
Now, what kind of services do you offer to them? Because I remember you mentioned the Saturday program, and there's obviously there's summer programs as well.
Right.
What exactly do they receive when they walk in the door?
Okay, so for the pre-college students, we do a number of things. Okay. So on Saturdays, we have a program that our Black Engineer Society students do, and it's called Torch Program. Okay. And in that program, they learn how to do things like programming, or they get involved with the undergraduates in other hands-on activities. And so they're basically teaching them about engineering and other STEM fields, and STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Right. And then we have, which I'd like to talk about a little bit later, we have a big Saturday program in the spring called our STEM Expo. Okay. And that we invite lots of students and their parents to attend, and they get involved in many activities. Okay. For the undergraduate students, we have a host of things. We start with them when they are pre-freshmen. And we bring them in something called our Bridge program. Okay. We have and we follow those students throughout their college career. We have an undergraduate research program. We have a program that we call our Winter Student Leadership Program that where we host students and employers for 2 days during a weekend in January. Excellent. And then we have a banquet in April where we celebrate it all.
So now, tell us about any milestones that your program has reached.
Okay, so our program has been around for a long time now. It's been around for more than 30 years. When our program started back in 1981, we had graduated about, a little less than 60 students, African American students in engineering. Excellent. And so one of the things that I'm very proud of is that since that time, we have arrived at a place where we are now 6th in the nation for awarding BS degrees to African American students in engineering.
Excellent. And there's mostly students that, in terms of tracking, are most of them attending University of Maryland, or are they attending universities throughout the United States?
So the students who participate in our pre-college programs, they go everywhere. Okay. And of course, we want them to attend the University of Maryland. Of course. And so we get we get some of those. One of the programs that I failed to mention is a high school research mentoring program. Okay. And we've been increasing our success with that program. It's a small program where we bring in maybe 10 students. Okay. But we're seeing that we're getting maybe 50% of those students who will attend the University of Maryland. Okay. And if they don't attend the University of Maryland, but they do attend engineering or STEM majors at other schools, then we're kind of happy about that too.
I guess last question is, tell our viewers about any current initiatives that you have.
Okay. So the initiative that I'd like our viewers your viewers to know about is our STEM Expo.
Okay.
That's going to be on April 6th, 2013.
All right.
And it is going to be a program that will offer hands-on projects, demonstrations, and activities in such areas as engineering, forensic science, robotics, software programming, environmental science, and more. And the sessions will focus on college majors and careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And highlighting our program, we're really excited this year because this year we're going to have an astronaut who will be our main speaker.
Excellent.
And that astronaut is Jeanette Epps,
Okay.
who just happens to be an African-American woman who just happens to be a graduate of the Aerospace Engineering program at the University of Maryland, College Park.
Well, very impressive. We'd like to thank Rosemary Parker for joining us. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Launchpad. I'm your host, Harry Washington, and today we're joined by Mr. George Mayo, the Executive Director for the Maryland Agricultural Education Foundation. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mayo.
Thanks very much for inviting us.
Tell our viewers a little bit about your educational background. Well, your background, rather. So.
I was raised on a small farm and chose horticulture, ornamental horticulture, as a field of study. So I have a BS degree in ornamental horticulture from Delaware Valley College. It's given me a broad basis of knowledge in the sciences. It's mostly about plant science.
Okay.
But having grown up on a smaller farm with livestock and we raised hay and other crops, really broadens your basis of knowledge. So it's made me, I've used everything I've learned in this new position, everything I've learned through my career in this new position as Executive Director of the Maryland Agricultural Education Foundation.
Now, what interests you in working with the Maryland Agricultural Foundation? Maryland Agricultural Educational Foundation.
Yeah, that is a mouthful.
Right.
The presence or the knowledge of agriculture in people's lives, you would think it would be just the most important thing in their world because they have to eat every day.
Right.
And they wear clothing that's made from fibers that come from plants in a lot of cases.
Right.
Their structures, the houses all have a lot of materials that come from nature and come from agriculture.
Right.
And but that's not the case. People don't realize how important agriculture is in their lives.
Right.
So getting that message out and being able to participate and have an organization that really allows that and helps to provide that type of information is it's very exciting. So.
Now, what's the purpose of MAEF?
Well, the mission is to promote the understanding and appreciation of the importance of agriculture in everyone's lives.
Okay.
And we do that through education from the preschool level all the way up to post-secondary.
Right.
So it's a daunting task. There are over 1 million students in Maryland, and we'd love to reach every single one of them, but that's not necessarily possible.
Now, why is it important? I mean, looking at your farm background and there's also the organization you work for, why is it important for us to know about the importance of agriculture?
Well, fewer than 2% of the population is engaged in agriculture. That is to say, in production agriculture. They're the ones that are actually creating foods and fiber for us. And yet, it has the majority of the people that are out there are making decisions that absolutely affect that production agriculture.
Okay.
So as voters, as consumers, and we would hope that by providing some information that these folks can make informed decisions about their really things that are the most important to them.
Now, how does MAEF educate people about the importance of agriculture?
We have several avenues. We have in the elementary ed, it's a program called Ag in the Classroom. Through that we have teacher training workshops, and we develop resources that actually follow the Maryland State educational standards. We talk about science, technology, engineering, and math, and the core subject areas. The nice thing about agriculture is that you can use agriculture to teach anything.
Right.
It's such a broad area of knowledge that you can use ag to teach anything. So we have mobile science classrooms that go to elementary schools around the state, and that has our resources, our lessons, our teachers, and we're really happy that in this county, in Prince George's County, Carolyn Mena is one of our teachers. She's a retired elementary ed teacher, but she works on our labs, and she does a great job. So we've been in over 10 schools in Prince George's County in the last couple of years, and Prince George's Farm Bureau is really good about helping to support that. So in any case, there's that. At the middle school level, we really focus on the Partnership for Children in Nature. That's a group that's helped to support the environmental literacy standards that are now an obligation of graduation. We work with farm-based educators. These are non-formal educators, and yet if you want to bring students onto your farm site, whether it's a public farm site or a private farm site, you really have to provide an area of support for whatever the students are learning in the classroom. You don't want to take kids out of the classroom if they're just having a fun day. We want it to be a fun day and an educational day so that it's actually supporting what they're learning in school. And so we're helping to train those farm-based educators on using the tools that make them more valuable to the school systems. We have at the high school level, I don't know if you're familiar with FFA. It used to be called Future Farmers of America. It's a student leadership program, and it's a really exciting program. It's the only student program that's tied to the curriculum within the classroom. So at the high school level, FFA is really important. There are over 2,000 members in Maryland. We employ the executive secretaries responsible for FFA in the state. And then we also provide a lot of advocacy and support. And so, for instance, Prince George's County is interested in providing or starting an ag program at the high school level, and we'd like to be there to help them do that. In the state, we have 3 partners by obligation of our charter, but at the same time, they're very active partners, and that's the University of Maryland, the State Department of Education, and the Maryland Department of Agriculture. So we work very well with all those folks.
But let's talk about some of the resources that you have here.
One of the exciting things is several years ago, we put together a movie. It's called Take Me Out to the Cornfield. Take Me Out to the Cornfield essentially demonstrates how there would be no baseball without agriculture. There'd be no ball, no glove, no bat, no turf, no hot dogs, no sodas. And it also demonstrates 9 of the top commodities in Maryland. And we did the video, and it's a very interesting video. It's a lot of fun, but the video doesn't really help you unless you have something that can go with it in the classroom. And so we also have these resources, teacher lessons. There are 2 lessons for each of the 9 innings of baseball in this particular guide. So we have teacher resources like this at many levels that allow us to reinforce what those teachers can do and give them the tools that they need to be able to teach what they're supposed to be teaching, only give them tools that work very well for that.
You also have this interesting calendar as well.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Our office manager for years kept saying, why don't you have the kids more involved? And we can do a calendar. So we have a contest, and each year, and the schools submit artwork, and this is really kindergarten through high school, and they can submit artwork that demonstrates what agriculture means to them in Maryland. And so we take the best out of that crowd. We do 18 of these, and there's some exciting things about this. The winners actually get a copy of the calendar. We distribute the calendars to about 3,000, 4,000 people, something like that. And the other exciting thing is that when we give out awards for recognizing partners and all, we'll frame some of these, and they cherish those awards. It's not like a Mylar award or anything, you know, it's something that came from the Trophy King. They cherish it, and we cherish it too. The students, it's what they're thinking is amazing, so it's always good.
Now, what career avenues exist for students who are interested in agriculture?
Oh my goodness. I mentioned that 2% of the folks in the population are engaged in agriculture. Now, of those engaged in agriculture, 2% are production. The rest support agriculture in so many ways. And you could be the vegetable manager, manager of the produce department in a grocery store, and you're engaged in agriculture. So within the sciences, there's a lot of activity there. Within within shipping and handling and merchandising, within processing, within it's an endless thing, and that's part of the problem with agriculture. I mean, what's the perception of agriculture? If I were to ask you, you'd probably say farming.
Exactly.
And so that's our problem. It's such a broad area that the commodity groups at times were promoting themselves, but that didn't really promote what agriculture is about. You know, so you know about the incredible edible egg, you know about the other white meat, you know about got milk, but so in any case, you have so many of these individual marketing processes, but nobody really knows about agriculture. So that's where we come in and try to pull it all together.
Now, in closing, what types of internships or opportunities do students have with MAEF? Or what can they look for at MAEF?
Yeah, actually, we personally only have a couple of intern opportunities, generally during the summer, although we have an extended internship this year. But we also know that a lot of our partners and folks we work with around the state have internship opportunities, so we can direct folks into those areas.
Okay.
So, yeah, any schools that are interested in knowing more about agriculture, we'll be happy to help them and point them in the right direction. If it's not something that we can do personally, we'll make sure they get the right information from folks.
Excellent. That we'd like to thank Mr. Mayo for joining us. We'll be back. Welcome back. I'm your host, Harry Washington, and today we're very excited because we're joined by three individuals from the robotics team at McKinley Tech High School. We're joined by Mr. William Hanyo, Michelle Mendoza, and Miles Johnson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us about what's your role, Wilfred. I'm sorry. What's your role with the team?
I'm currently the team captain.
Okay. And what does that mean to be the team captain?
Being the team captain, I have to work with my team and make sure that everyone knows what they're doing. And like, since I have more experience, I can guide them to little stuff that they know how to do.
Okay. And Michelle, what's your role with the team?
Well, I'm the president of the team, and I make sure that everyone's doing what they have to do, and I talk with the mentors according to what the students want.
Okay, excellent. Miles, what's your role?
I'm a safety manager. I have to make sure everybody's safe.
Okay.
During robotics, we deal with tools, and I have to make sure they use them properly.
Okay. Now, tell the audience, what's your classification? Wilfred, what's yours?
So I'm a junior at McKinley Tech High School, and this is currently my third year being in the robotics team, and it's been a ton of fun. Okay. So last year, I was actually safety captain, just like he was, and so building that experience, I got chosen to be team captain, and so using that experience, I'm just using it to guide my team and working with the team president to have a great team.
Okay. Michelle, what's just your classification? What's your classification?
I'm a junior.
Okay. And Miles, what's your classification?
Sophomore.
Now, what got you guys interested in the robotics team? I'll start with you, Miles.
I was interested in the robotics team. It was first announced on Intercom when I was in my freshman year. I didn't listen to it because you can't really hear a lot of things on the Intercom during lunch period. But when I saw Wilfred one day in a school period, he was doing something about robotics, and I was interested in it. So I asked Wilfred what he was doing, and he responded, and I wanted to join his team.
Okay. Michelle, what got you interested?
Well, I actually heard it from Wilfred. We were just talking one day, and he told me about the experience that he had last year with the robotics team.
Okay. And now let me ask you this, Michelle. Now, what members are we missing today?
Well, actually, the team is composed of the leadership team, which is the captain, president, and the ambassador, and then after that, it would be the mentors. Okay. And then it's composed of different teams, dealing with the build team, electrical team, programming, and mass media.
Okay. Now, are you the only female on the team?
No, actually, we're recruiting new members, but currently now there are 3 members.
Okay. And how many on the team? I'm sorry, how many on the team in total?
Total, there are about 25 some members.
Okay. Is there any particular classification for the team? Do you have to just be a junior or senior, or can you be
anyone can join.
Excellent. And how do you find out about it, other than through the PA system? Is there any other way, by word of mouth, or is just you sign up somewhere?
Well, we put up posters throughout the school, and we have a meeting during the first week of school, helping everyone get to know what robotic really is about. Okay.
And actually, how long has the program been in existence?
The program has been around for about 22 years now.
Okay.
And
Oh, excellent, excellent. Now, I know, Michelle, you described the structure of the program. Is there anything else that our viewers can know about the robotics program?
So robotics is composed of not only learning how to do engineering process, but also marketing,
Okay.
public speaking, programming,
Okay.
working as a team,
All right.
and I would say that's about it.
Now, so Miles, you tell us about the competitions. How many competitions do you guys do a year?
All right, on season we start off with VEX, FTC, and FRC.
Okay.
VEX is just these little small robots, ankle biters really, and then FTC is it's more of a complicated task we have to deliver. I mean, for this year we're going to have to be putting rings on different levels of hooks, and for FRC is our big robot, probably like to my shoulder height if I would stand up.
Okay.
And off season we might have some more challenges.
Okay.
Just dealing with one of our FTC or FRC robots.
Now, what's the exciting part about the robotics that you like, that you enjoy?
Building the robots and then controlling them.
Okay.
That's the most enjoying thing I have about it.
What about you, Michelle? What's the most exciting part about robotics?
Getting to know all the different possibilities there are, like exploring. Like robotics lets me
Okay.
go and build. And
Okay. And Wilfred, what's the most exciting part for you?
I guess the best part to me is the competitions,
Okay.
where I get to see everyone else's robot and what they came up with and how they built theirs.
Okay. And I guess just a question to all of you. What's your plans after you complete high school?
My goal are to go to college, and
Okay.
I'm planning on studying computer science and possibly mechanical engineering.
Okay. Michelle, what are your plans?
well, my goal is to go to MIT
Okay.
and double major in electrical engineering, computer engineering.
Excellent. Excellent. And Miles, what are your plans?
I plan just to make a broad walk into engineering, and then if anything intrigues me, I'll go that path.
Now, in closing, what do you want to say in closing, Wilfred?
This message I want to share is that robotics is not just about robots. It's a ton more than that. It's like people coming together and share their ideas, like putting their skills to work and showing off using their skills to make the robot look good, and everyone in the team, and spreading the word.
Okay, cool. Michelle, in closing, what do you want to say?
Well, I actually want to say to all the girls, they should join robotics. It's
Okay.
not only about, people think of it as it being nerdy and stuff
Okay.
like that. It's working as a team, having a community. It's it has many things that it could teach you over time.
Excellent, excellent. Miles, what do you want to say in closing?
In closing, I just like to announce that robotics is funner than it looks.
Okay, okay. That's our show. I hope you learned a lot, because I have. To learn about all of our guests, view our credits at the end of the show. Thank you for watching.